Hey fam, what's good? All right, let's get into it because this is a long story of biasness. Eminem's white privilege. How Slim Shady was crowned the king of hip hop. The Detroit rapper's popularity is undeniable, but his cultural influence is highly questionable. Gucci Mane isn't one to mince words. The Atlanta trap guru sparked a small bit of controversy this week after he was asked about the stature of one of the most famous rappers in the game. Eminem has a litany of platinum-selling albums, awards, and undeniable success. His name is undoubtedly going to come up whenever you mention the biggest rappers in the industry. During an appearance on Ricky Smiley's morning show, Gucci was asked if the Detroit rap superstar was the king of the game. He balked at the notion. Balked means like scoffed or "You gotta come with a better name," Gucci said. So, Gucci is saying that Eminem should come with a better name. I just want you to know that. I ain't playing Eminem in my car. You play him in yours? You sliding around playing Eminem in your car with your old lady? Gucci's take seemed to surprise a lot of commentators as several sites ran with the story and added commentary describing Eminem's massive commercial success, industry awards, and cultural reach over the past 2 decades. There's no denying that Eminem is a major star and undoubtedly one of the most famous rappers of all time. Since the early 2000s, no one has sold more than Slim Shady. But Gucci's perspective belies an interesting point. So many hip-hop fans have voiced similar thoughts on M's career, particularly over the past 10 years or so. Eminem's fame and popularity may be undeniable, but what they mean to hip-hop fans is absolutely debatable. And it's impossible to have an honest conversation about what they mean without acknowledging how much Eminem being white and having a large white fan base contributes to those staggering numbers and ever-present award nominations. Despite the fact that virtually every album he's released since his star-making breakthrough, the Slim Shady LP, has reached number one, M's music hasn't been all that culturally centered for a while. That is to say, black hip-hop fans haven't really been all that invested. Do you feel that's true? Please leave comments, you guys, as we go along. And this is in red now. And M hasn't been the standard bearer for much of what's happened in hip-hop since 2010. But it seems like for a large swath, I like how they use that, of white people, he has to be a standard bearer. And that was in italics. So many people still desperately need, and this is in red, Eminem to be king, as Rolling Stone crowned him in 2011, ever since the Beastie Boys went multi-platinum. And now everything's back in black. So many commentators have been warily waiting for a racially hijacking of hip-hop, and Elvis Presley to emerge and suddenly wrest the music's image away from black artists and fans. Hip-hop is a 40-year-old genre that's been a global industry for almost as long. And it mostly got there by mass marketing black faces. But we should understand that the hijacking has already happened. It just didn't quite look the same as what happened in rock and roll after 1955. The success of an Eminem is an indicator. They wrote that. The success of an Eminem is an indicator of an age-old truth. White audiences and white industries' preference for white faces selling black aesthetics, but it's also evidence of how that racial bias has shaped hip-hop commentary and canonization. Eminem is regarded as one of the most important artists in the history of the genre, even though his albums haven't been as genre-defining as so many of his peers. And his music is only tangentially influential when compared to a Rakim, Tupac, Jay-Z, or Kanye. He's most important for providing white fans a credible entry point into the genre. And we're supposed to be okay with that. We're not supposed to view Eminem and Elvis Presley as comparable. We're supposed to see M as authentic and Elvis as a vulture. But Elvis raved about black artists from Jackie Wilson to Mahalia Jackson, topped the R&B charts and country charts regularly, made headlines for playing to black audiences in Memphis when festivals were still racially segregated, chummed around with Ike Turner and B.B. King, and James Brown called him his brother. You don't really see a divide between Elvis and black audiences until the Shine My Shoes rumor, and that was in red, started circulating in 1957. That's 2 to 3 years into his career. That planted a seed that was watered by king of rock and roll chatter and led to a rift between Presley and how black folks perceived him. But that quote was always just a rumor, though it did a lot to cost Presley any semblance of respect in the black community. When it was discovered that Eminem had recorded, and this is in red, racist freestyles as a teenager. That's news to me, you guys. It really is. Where are these racist freestyles? And if this were out there, we would be seeing them all the time because they can't wait. Media meaning and all the haters would have them on rotation. He apologized for a tape he made when he was 15 years old and he dated an African American young lady and she broke his heart and he used the N-word and he apologized. And since then, I think it's been in one concert that he has used the N-word, and that was when he was with Royce at a concert, rapping. So, okay, but you guys tell me in the comments if you guys have seen these, because anyway, he apologized and went right back to outselling everyone without missing a beat. I just feel this is so biased. Elvis Presley, as the king of rock and roll, was always a distinction bestowed on him by white people. He was a vessel that connected whiteness to a world to which it had previously only been marginally aware, and white America elevated him to the top of the genre for it. The same thing happened to Eminem. He has been rewarded for being white culture's entry point into blackness. That he was marketed as more authentic than a Vanilla Ice shouldn't negate that. M has admitted as much himself on numerous occasions, so did Elvis Presley. Presley makes no secret of his respect for the Negroes, I don't like that word, nor of their influence on his singing. Furthermore, he does not shun them, either in public or private. It was written in Tan magazine. Presley himself told Jet magazine in 1957, "A lot of people seem to think I started this business, but rock and roll was here a long time before I came along. Nobody can sing that kind of music like colored people. Let's face it. I can't sing like Fats Domino can. I know that. Just as Eminem's 2004 single White America showed self-awareness in declaring, if I was black, I would have sold half." This is really painting a very weird picture for me. Is it painting the same for you, or how do you guys feel so far for this? To me, it's as if they're trying to say that Eminem feels like he invented hip-hop. He did sub-genres of it. Comedy standpoint, and there's others, but he doesn't even admit that. That's just been written down and published. I don't know. This just seems very one-sided. When Eminem initially became a pop superstar, his background was as widely publicized as his music. He was rarely depicted surrounded by anything but his black peers. His connection to super producer Dr. Dre was always front and center. It was clear that those selling Eminem to the masses wanted to make sure everyone knew that he had credible black cosigns as he was storming the pop charts. If the industry had been a bit savvier in 1990, they would have likely done the same with Vanilla Ice. Wow. White supremacy has never required that you indicate white people invented black music in order to center them within it. Calling Elvis the king wasn't the same as calling him the father. It didn't have to be. White supremacy will center white maleness even while acknowledging he exists in a black space. That's how an Eminem becomes the best-selling and most awarded rapper of all time. Oh, okay, I didn't know it didn't have anything to do with skill. Eminem doesn't have to be branded the king of rap because things don't have to be that obvious anymore. They didn't have to act like the Beasties invented hip-hop. They just put them in places where black rap couldn't go. And bought their debut album more than any other rap act in the 1980s. That's why George Michael can win Best R&B Artist at the 1990 American Music Awards. I'm not denying that there was a lot of diversity for black artists. That is still going on. And it's getting better, but why take away from another artist to prove a point for black artists? Black artists don't want that. They just want their just due. They don't need you to take down somebody else to give them something. Just when you see an artist, whatever their skin color is, and they're bringing it, they have put in the work, they have that talent, give them what they're supposed to get. This is crazy to me. Maybe I'm wrong. You guys let me know. Maybe I'm reading this wrong, so you guys can tell me in the comments. But to me, this just sounds really one-sided, very biased, and just awfully outdated. Okay, so why George Michael can win Best R&B Artist at the 1990 American Music Awards, and why Philly soul-loving Hall & Oates, I don't even know what they sing, can sell more than the Spinners, the Blue Notes, and the Manhattans combined and beat them all into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This idea of authenticity is often misleading because people will often assign sincerity to music that resonates with them. But go beyond taste and go beyond how the music is marketed, as other 40-something rappers are presented as legends of yesteryear or pop culture dinosaurs. Oh, here we go. M is treated like a still important artist despite dwindling cultural sway. Really? And that was in red. Dwindling cultural sway. Do you feel that M's sway is dwindled? Even with no one out there bumping his shit in the ride with their old lady. He has a crown, but not one that we gave him. That's how whiteness works. All right, you guys. Tell me what you think. Maybe I read that wrong. Maybe I read it angrily. Maybe I read it sarcastically. Did I read it not sarcastically enough? Do you think I took it wrong? Do you think I took it right? Drink some coffee. I don't know. It's 3 in the morning, and upon reading that, I don't want to go to sleep. I want to see what other stuff they're going to put out. So tell me what you guys think. I definitely want to hear what you guys think about this. If you guys feel like, hey, go reread that article and read it calmly. Or this is how you feel about it. Or if you guys agree with me, just let me know. You guys don't have to agree with me. I'm not going to get mad at all. I just feel I don't like bullies. I especially don't like bullies with power. This is going to go all over the nation. This is going globally. No matter what anyone says, this goes everywhere. People read it and they believe it as truth. Do we really want people to feel like they have no control over their destiny if they're not a certain skin color? We want to still believe that now. I would like to believe that if you're hardworking and you put in the effort, you put in the time, you read the entire dictionary for all of your life and you have it memorized, and you put it to use in rhyme or in your verses, and you're spinning it out in quick succession, that you deserve what you get. But maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, I love you guys. I'm gonna drink some more coffee. Wake up. Leave comments. Especially you, Jay Green and Philly B.